We're not against rap. We're not against rappers. But we are against those.
Something big about to happen. I hear the beat tapping.
We some fly rhyming felines rapping on the track. Better yet, grab a gat, cause we hot like Enzo. Doors closed, windows up, cause that's the way we like to ride. Windy City hitting. Check mic 1 2 1 2. We live, baby. Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? What's up, Chicago? Welcome back to another episode of Speak Your Mind Radio. I'm your hostess with the mostest, Queen Star, aka MzHipHop. And you can check this visual episode out on my YouTube channel. It's under Speak Your Mind Radio. No, it's just Speak Your Mind. It's not Speak Your Mind Radio on YouTube. It's Speak Your Mind. All right, so let's get started. We're doing a film review, a Fresh Friday film review, okay? So a segment that's a part of Fresh Friday music, all right? The film I want to review today is called American Skin. American Skin is like basically a political thriller, you know? This film came out this year in January 15th, 2021. And the reason why I called it a political thriller is because the movie articulates society's Black oppression, you know, here in America, at least, you know. The film gave off a lot of intentional vibes. One that was kind of like informing us of how and why this problem is problematic. It's continuing on, not just here in America, you all, but all over the world where Black people reside, you know. But just to keep on task here, you know, the movie American Skin was produced and written by Nate Parker, who is also an American actor, and he starred in the film as well. And he is I'm getting confused with the other actors inside the movie. But yeah, Nate Parker is all of that because it's hard writing like a script for anything, you know, and it's hard acting too. So he has done it all, and he's got the support that he needs from his co-executive producer, which is Spike Lee, you know, for doing this fabulous film. So let's talk about what the film is about. So it's about this war veteran, retired war veteran. And you know how much praise and respect that they get for fighting for this country. So he is about in the car, and he gets pulled over by, you know, white cops about a traffic stop. You know how that goes, especially in our scenario. So the film is about his son getting shot by the cops and killed, okay? And what has happened is a year later into the film, they are reaching out to the victim's father, who was played by Nate Parker, and asking him about his story. And this is a year later, no justice has still been served. The movie was so inviting. When I say inviting into the minds and hearts of the people and the police, okay? You know, the opening scene, I gravitated toward because it felt like I was there. It felt that intense and that realness. And it was something that when you first start watching is a magnet. You can't stop watching it. There is no pause button. There is no stop button until the end when the credits are rolling. So it's about this war veteran who got his son murdered by the police. A year later, a documentary is put out on his story. A young man who's around the same age as the victim's son comes knocking on his door and say, hey, let's do this film. I want to talk to you. And they talk about it. And I'm going inside a little bit more. I'm not telling you everything that happened, but inside of the script were real people, real scenes. The events of the synchronicities of the events within the movie led you all the way back further and further and further and further to cases like Trayvon Martin or Michael Brown, or let's not forget Chicago Laquan McDonald. This is an ongoing thing, especially with our African American men, you know? And so digging around a little bit more into the realness of the movie, let's talk about some of the actors, you guys. So like I said, we got Nate Parker starring in the film. We already wrote it, y'all. Okay, the actor Theo Rossi, he played one of the officers, Dominic, and that was he actually played in Breaking Bad. That's a series that you guys can catch, anywhere. Breaking Bad is a good series too. Then the other officer, the officer who played the one who murdered the son, his name was Bo Knapp, and his character's name was Officer Mike. That guy was phenomenal. He played the mess, y'all, out of that role. Oh my freaking goodness. It was so real. So he's special in his own way because his dad, they grew up, producing film. So that's kind of like how he got into it, Bo Knapp. And that star quality, that hard work rubbed off on Knapp, and he's been doing films ever since. And this is the first film I've ever seen him act in. So he caught my attention immediately. I mean, I feel like people in this film should win some Academy Awards here, Speaking of Academy Awards and everything like that, let's talk about Omari Hardwick in the film. He did a fabulous job too. You guys know Omari Hardwick. He is the star of Power. That's what people know him as. But he's also a producer and a rapper and a podcaster. Okay, and a lot of people don't know this, but last year, it was like the last time I saw something from him. But the podcast is called, what is it? The Poetics Podcast. It's a good podcast that I looked up and everything like that. So he was speaking to people like Dave East, that's a rapper. Even who else was he talking to? Wyclef. He also sat down with Dr. Eric Michael Dyson. And what makes this so cool that he's talked to all these different kinds of people is because when you go on the show, you have to originate your own poem, your own poetry. And that opens up dialogue to talk about everything else, which in coming back to this film, that's what I felt like. I was sitting at an open mic and I was listening to the thoughts of the people. So what happened in the film where this man, after doing this documentary, after a year of his son being murdered, he came up with a plan to take hostage of the dang old police department because he wanted some freaking justice. So them ancestors, boo, was talking to him like, avenge your son's death. Your son was freaking 15 years old. He took everybody and he did it, y'all. And you have to watch the film because when there is a calling for you to do something. You don't think about what's going to go wrong. You do it right then and there, you know? And that was the mindset of Nate Parker. You know, he said, I'm going to do this film. I'm going to intentionally put some vibes out there, some messages. Hello, you know? And what it taught me about the police brutality here in America is that with this film, this information, that policemen are not programmed or programmed to de-escalate a situation, especially a hostile situation. So once that gun is pointed, once that gun is drawn, that's it. And then you have the conversations of, well, they don't comply. He broke that down too. Let me now speak on it. Go watch the film American Skin, y'all. If you want to know where this stigma of American horror, brutality of going all the way back to the slave days, it's in the film. It's no wonder why there's so much black on black crime. Ooh, don't let me get started. This is another podcast, baby. This is another podcast, and I'm going to save it right here. I'm going to get back to y'all and end on that note, so to speak. Catch up, okay? Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in to another dope episode of Speak Your Mind Radio. I feel like I'm ending this a little bit prematurely, but I can't stress how much American Skin means to the American people and just people in general all over the U.S. And outside of this country, especially if you're black, you have the skin color, then you should know that you should watch this film. It should be in your archives, because this is it. Thank you, Nate Parker, for having the balls to stand up and do this. I got so much messages out of here. You all, the insights that's coming to me is that people are upset. We are upset. We are angry. Why are we angry? Because we feel like we're not being heard. The uncompromised judicial system is messed up for African Americans and people of color. This is fascist old ways of thinking, the perspectives. And so this film opened up the perspectives of what the other side could possibly be thinking when they say, why don't they comply? It's enough to know something, but when you apply it to your everyday life, you can understand, maybe I could have done it a little bit differently this time. It's enough to make you stop and think. I'm serious, man. Go watch this movie, y'all. I got enough knowledge just watching this, seriously, okay? It's called American Skin, and you can watch it on Amazon Prime Video, okay? Amazon has some of the best films ever, okay? And you can rent it or you can archive it. You can do whatever you want to, honey. But go to Amazon Prime to rent American Skin. I love you all so much, and thank you for tuning in to another dope episode of Speak Your Mind Radio. And don't forget to catch me visually on YouTube, okay? Under Speak Your Mind. Peace.